times like this where the internal soundtrack in my mind starts playing Rambling Man by the Allman Brothers. Then of course it's always fun to show a camera in somebody's face as soon as they wake up. Where are we and what are we doing?
I'm over here trying not to catch a cold from Brento is what I'm doing right now.
So last night I get a text from Strebo. I'm sorry, are we still doing those names? Mr. Director, and says, you know, are we still doing this morning shoot? And I think I was about 90% sure that you had decided you were going to come later and that it being at sunrise didn't matter, which I was totally banking on. And about 2 o'clock I get your response. It says about 6:30. I was like, damn it.
That's because there was a delay. When I was chatting with you, you didn't respond right away. And I went and played video games. I started playing Shadowrun Returns. And I didn't stop till the middle of the night. And then I went back and you texted me at like midnight. And you're like, well, what time?
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, I tried to justify that we should, oh wow, look at the sunrise. I tried to justify that we should shoot this in the pasture near the thing, but, you know, the script calls for a field, a full field, kind of being filled with these things, and that, of course, wouldn't be as impressive over there. Plus, I was just looking for a way to make it, you know, the theme for this shoot has been what? Simplify, simplify, simplify. Simply simplify. So I was trying to simply simplify. But a couple of years ago, I got permission to shoot in this.
These background videos brought to you by Pepsi.
Cha-ching!
Send us cases.
I had a chance to shoot a music video out here for an artist that completely, the location was lost on her, how epic
Kelly
it was.
Pickler?
It was the Kelly Pickler wannabe of Monroe, North Carolina. A girl equally as cute, but perhaps not as equally talented. I don't know. She's pretty talented. I thought the video turned out great.
She's gonna see this.
But well, dude, getting her to watch her own video was work. This is ironically a field that we were recommended about, like showing barren landscapes, but of course it's been logged. But anyway, this is a kind of it's sort of a mini highland. It's like about 500 acres of pasture land that is kind of on I don't know if you call it a plateau, but it is on it's kind of raised up above the surrounding landscape, and it's overlooking like the URA National Forest. And there's one particular peak that is just freaking majestic out here, and it's in a field. Now the downside is, I think we're gonna have to walk to it, and it's about 3/4 of a mile carrying gear.
That's definitely a downside.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is on that. But
the other downside is going on posted land and could possibly be shot.
Well,
so if you find this video,
found footage. Here's the thing.
Edit all these behind the scenes together. And
Here's
you got
the
a
thing.
found footage movie.
Do you have anything to leave a note with? Because we actually do have permission. It's permission that I got some time ago that said, go shoot up there anytime you want. And that is from the land manager, Gus Shad, who also happens to be our landlord.
Leave a note at 6:50 in the morning.
Yeah, just leave my name and number and say we have permission from Gus Shad to do some photography out here. Hey, Strebo, let's carry some shit a long way.
Okay.
That'll be fun. So, what we're doing right here is filming an epic sunrise for the closing shot. And, dude, I'm going to just go ahead and throw it out there. That looks amazing. Check this out. Behind the scenes GoPro camera. Check this out.
Might catch it on the GoPro.
Look at that. You can catch it right there, can't you? I'm flatly amazed that we actually got out here before sunrise by like 1 minute.
5 minutes.
The drone almost
Perfectly
cocked it
planned.
up for
Oh,
us.
there it is.
Hello. Hello, sunrise. Hello, Mr. Sun.
Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello.
So
That's all we can use of that without being sued.
The good news is, you know, with the drone, well, there's all kinds of good news when you're a filmmaker. You're not sitting on your ass talking about the great American Northwestern drama that you're going to make when you have a budget. You know, budget's a funny thing. It's like you can wait for that budget, but that's just like the guy that waits.
A budget's like a woman.
Elusive. Oh my gosh.
Just when you think you got it all figured out, it all takes a left turn on you.
Yeah, one day you're all like, I'm dating a stripper. Next day you're all like, well, that's what I thought. Oh man, that's looking epic. Very cool. But you know, we're kind of coming to the end of the road. We got maybe what, one more pickup shoot.
Yeah, one more.
If we can get our, it's blinding, man. I can't even look at it now.
Not
So
if we
hard.
can. Yeah.
My feeling is we're going to have a work print by December 1st.
To submit to.
Nevermore.
Nevermore.
We do have at least one Nevermore. No, that's not true. We have 2 Nevermore alumni. I wasn't giving you credit for Scarecrow. So yeah, we've been there before, and it's really cool. We want to go back. So that's in my mind, that is the only film festival that I really care about submitting to for a bunch of reasons, but it's mainly because it's the biggest and baddest.
It's definitely the best in North Carolina.
No doubt.
I love Nevermore.
No doubt. Submission fee of $0. Y'all running
$10.
Is it? Well, screw that, man.
They bumped. They
$10.
finally start charging a
but,
fee.
You know, like, I mean, $10 I have no problem with processing, but like you know as well as I do, it's like it's anywhere from like $60 to $90. I'm like, $90? Are you kidding me? Our film could be like 5 minutes longer if we don't pay that submission fee. You know what I mean? When you're working with pennies instead of like thousands of dollars, every dime counts, my man. Every dime counts. Man, I feel like we're like in just like going to heaven or something. Like this is just amazing light right now. Magic hour ends.
We're in filmmaker heaven.
Day begins. And we are still at 68%, so we can get some more. If we want to do a time lapse, we can get some more of this beautiful footage. I'm going to expend pretty much the first battery, just getting the sunrise, and then we'll go and do some.
We're out here. Let's just shoot what we can shoot.
Heck yeah, man! Because some of us have to go to work today.
Yeah, some of us do.
Yep. This is an epic location. I wish we had the time to see if you actually. We were going to walk over there. I tried to talk Streetbar into walking over there with the actual film camera that we're using, the 70D, and but it's like the better part of a mile, humping it around this corner, which kind of follows the ridge line, and that's what we did. We were able to drive out there. I had a big SUV.
Not opposed to it, if that's what we were actually going to use, but we're going to use this, so I am therefore opposed to it.
Well, that's the funny thing. You never know what you're going to use till you get in there. But I do think this will definitely work, unless I have drastically screwed up the shot. It looks pretty good on here. That's if we're working with it in silhouette, and I think I want to do it again once the sun is up, you know, to have that as an option, because it's the whole point is to show that they're, you know, like I was just thinking they could be looking back at the sun as opposed to looking this way because that the sunrise and all. But you're like, hey, we're not burning up, you know. I'm giving away a major spoiler there, but then again, all this behind the scenes is spoilerific, so I'm not. That's why I'm not putting it out there, except for the cast and crew right now. So if you're seeing this, either it's long debuted or you run the cast and crew. So thanks very much. We appreciate the help, and we'll take all that we can get. I was actually remarking it was a perfect day to shoot this, except for we didn't have our EPK guy, Robert Herr, with us. So it'd have been a lot better because I wouldn't have had to bother. Every time I look at the sun, I'm seeing spots, you know.
Yeah, we're technically not supposed to stare at the sun. So.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. Man, the lighting is just sweet right now. I'm gonna take some pictures. Photographs. I would be taking those with a drone, but right now it's otherwise engaged. By the way, this is the Phantom 4.
This is you taking,
filming,
taking a picture. All behind the scenes.
I'm filming myself taking.
Is this meta enough for you? This is the problem with modern filming.
I'll tell you what, it's too bad this portrait mode is really cool, but you can't take it of yourself because you got to be 8 feet away.
If I put the camera here, it can make your arms super long.
Here, check it out. Wait, here you go.
It's larger than your whole body.
Are you into Plastic Man? Or is it Mr. Plastic Man? Isn't it on Flash?
Plastic Man. I haven't been watching it, but I know who Plastic Man is.
Well, I have the latest episode on the old recording. I'm ready to check that out for sure. But oh, we didn't even look this. How cool the sunrise! It's such a stark line that you don't see that very often, where the sunrise creates like such a stark shadow like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, our shadows are right there on the trees.
I bored you guys
enough.
Enough.
You see our shadows on the trees. Look at that.
Oh, we're giants. Look. hey! I just now noticed that. Thanks for pointing it out. Now I'm cool even more. This right here would be an amazing spot to do a music video. Can you imagine having a full band? You start rocking out, the sun comes up. Of course, you'd have a really long song to fully get that effect, but it's like glowing. This looks like somebody with new lighting really set this up. Awesome. All right, then we'll say goodbye to Uncle Strebo, and that'll be it for the behind the scenes. Go ahead and give me the voiceover for your South Park version. Got the camera.
Always using
Poor bastard. Must see I caught out here in the sunlight. That ain't good.
You got my dialogue memorized now.
Well, hell yeah.
There's one or two good lines in it. I like the less you know, the faster.
I feel sorry for them. They look so sad. I mean, you think I hadn't heard every line of dialogue like 50 times this week?
That's my fly line. Be afraid, be very afraid.
I gotcha.
The less you know, the faster you can run.
That's a pretty cool tagline. I don't think I've heard that one before.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. So I'm pleased that I came up with that. That is, unless I see some other movie that's right there on the poster, I'm like, damn it!
It looks like we're on a slant, but I don't know if that might just be me. It looks like the gimbal is on a slant, but maybe it's not. It's all in my mind. Well, anyway, we just finished. Well, my mind is slanted, without a doubt. So we just finished up the drone footage and went ahead and shot some footage with the primary camera to create our closing shot with the big, I don't know if you call it a twist, but the big reveal at the end. And once again, Todd dies at the end. Or just before the end is accomplished.
Todd was not in it.
Todd is not in it. I like these big old trees.
Bring that character back though. Hey, you know, I could use him as the junkie informant in the superhero short.
That totally works. He could be Crazy Todd. Hey, look at that tree. It's on a wicked slant.
Then we have to deal with him as an actor though.
As long as
sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not.
Man, you know, I've told Todd this to his face many occasions. He's a great actor as long as I let him play himself, an exaggerated version of himself, because then it's not really acting. He don't have to learn those lines. He lived it. He lived it. Look at this place, man. It's beautiful out here. Crazy Todd. That's the only thing I really truly love about Buddy Rose. Todd being a like uber redneck and saying things like, "You like TVs?" or "I ain't gonna rash you." No, yeah, it was funny. It was supposed to be scary. It turned out being a comedy.
And Asa asked whatever it was.
I think she's back to using her name now, but yeah, she did do a good job. I was surprised. So that's the secret of independent filmmaking. Just don't use actual actors, just people that want to be actors.
You have to intermix actual actors with amateurs, but they have to be amateurs with passion. That's what.
Well, you said it.
That's what makes it work.
That's the only reason we're making movies today, man. That ain't because we got money. It's because we got passion, or as the Italians say, la passion, or is that Spanish? Yeah, but you know, the upside is this is a cool story you can tell later. Man, you remember that time we had to get up? I can't believe we got up at 6:30 in the morning, went out freezing cold hilltop.
I was sick all week.
When I do my master thesis on filmmaking, it's gonna be this stuff that I talk about. Like, yeah, I know what I was doing Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. What were you doing? You know, one thing that I did forget to mention is that it's 3 weeks past the initial active production of the film, and this is just the kind of things that we have to strive to keep doing until every last shot is in the bag. So, you know, you saw that at 6 a.m. we're out shooting the pickup shot, and now I'm going to call good old Todd, who's had some struggles on this particular shoot, and see if he's able to come and basically play This is my co-director right here. I'm going to see if he's able to come and play one of the blinders for us and shoot green screen elements, which would connect to what we shot out in the field. On the horizon, the blinders sort of revealing themselves to be immune to daylight. Instead of trying to truck out, you know, 30, 40 people out there, we ended up deciding to use a cinematic digital element, you know, if possible, to have the actors sort of act on a green screen, and then we're going to composite that as many times as we need to. So this will involve one person playing the blinder over and over in different costumes and doing slightly different movements. And then if that is not sufficient, we may actually resort to digital assets, meaning just completely animated figures. There's a good argument for both in some cases, but hopefully we won't have to resort to digital, because, you know, there's always the chance that it'll take people out of it. So hopefully we'll be able to get it done with the actual actor, and hopefully Todd will be available today. If not today, then when? Because we're trying to get a work print done by December 1st so we can submit to Nevermore. Hopefully that'll happen, so wait and see.